Hi, my name is Paul Wilson. I'm the creator of Swing Machine Golf and the director of the Paul Wilson Golf School at Bears Best Las Vegas. In this tip, I want to talk about how to hit a shot when the ball is above your feet. Now, there's a few setup modifications we have to do, but once you understand them, you'll be able to hit this shot without a problem. Okay, first thing we want to do is understand where a ball is going to go if it's hit off of a lie like this. Now, for a right-handed golfer, a shot hit from this lie is going to hook to the left. Okay, so why that happens is because when you hit a golf ball, if the ball is on a slope like this, if we take a look at our ball, each golf ball has an axis running through it. And in a case like this, the axis is level with, or parallel with the ground. So that means that the axis is running through the ball on an angle. So if we hit this golf ball, it will be spinning on an angle this way as opposed to being level to the ground if it was on an even lie. Okay, so the whole ball, the axis in the ball is tilted. So if the axis in the ball is tilted, the ball will be spinning, which creates the curvature for a right-handed golfer to the left. Okay, so the ball actually hooks off of this lie. So if we know the ball is going to hook, what we need to do is we need to first adjust our stance. So we're going to aim a little bit out to the right to allow the ball to hook back on the target. Now what you want to do is you want to judge the severity of the slope and then determine how far out to the right you're going to aim. So if it's just a slight slope, 5 or 10 yards. If it's more of an extreme slope, maybe you're up to 15, 20 yards. If it's a real severe slope, maybe you're 30, 40 yards out to the right. Okay, because that ball will really hook to the left. Like I say, it's dependent on the severity of the slope. So right here, this is a pretty decent slope, but it's not so severe that I'd have trouble with this shot. So a shot like this, I'm probably going to aim about 15, 20 yards out to the right and have the ball hook back onto my target line. So if I was going to take my setup position, if this was square right here, I would aim my whole body a little bit out to the right. Okay, so I'm doing that again because the ball is going to spin to the left. Now, as we take our setup position, what we want to try and do, again, based on the severity of the slope, we're going to first off have our legs not as flexed as we normally would. If we flex, we're going to get down too low here. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to even ourselves out with the ball. So ball is above my feet here, so if I stand up a little taller, I get more even with the golf ball. So if I was down here, again, that's a little bit too low. So I'm going to not flex my knees quite as much on this shot. Also, from a lie like this, I'm going to actually feel the weight a little on my toes because I'm trying to keep my balance. If I was to feel the weight on the heels, I'd definitely fall over. So we want to feel the weight solidly, like middle of the feet to the balls of the feet. Okay? So now, once we've kind of got our body in the correct position, what we want to do, again, depending on the severity of the slope, is either grip down or not grip down on your golf club. So in this case here, you know, I can do actually pretty much my normal grip on the golf club here. So in this case, I'm not going to be gripping down. If I was on more of a slope, I would actually grip down on the golf club. As I grip down on the club, I'm going to want to take extra club to make up for the fact that the club is getting shorter. If the club's getting shorter, I'm probably going to hit it a little less distance. So I want to take an extra club so that I can hit the ball to the distance that I'm trying to hit it to. Okay, so again, in this situation here, I don't have to really grip down because the slope isn't so severe that I have to do that. And why I'm saying that I'm not gripping down here, I would prefer not to grip down if I didn't have to, because I want to know that I'm going to hit the distance that I'm trying to hit it. So if I grip down, now I got to change clubs and the distance may be a little bit off. So for right here, I'm going to hold the golf club at the end of the club. Okay, so from right here, I've aimed my body out to the right. I've gripped down a little, or sorry, I'm gripping at the end of the club. I've got my legs unflexed a little bit. I feel the weight just leaning forward a little bit. One other thing we want to talk about is just the ball position. Now, for me, what I do, I play this ball just a little forward of center. Okay, it's almost in my normal ball position. It's maybe a hair back from my normal ball position. Now, why I'm saying you're not going to drop this ball back in your stance is because, remember, the ball is going to curve to the left a little bit, okay, depending on the severity of the slope. If we are aimed out this way and we swing out that way, we're going to get a certain amount of curvature. Now, if we drop the ball back in our stance, so imagine if the club's coming in like this and we're making contact here and we drop the ball back, that means the face is going to be open. So that could potentially counteract the spin we're going to be putting on the golf ball, or it could force the ball too far out to the right of our target. So even though the ball's spinning back, we're still going to end up right of our target. So we want to play the ball at farthest back would be center. I prefer it a little forward of center. Okay, so just use that as a guideline. Maybe try out a few different ball positions and see what works best for you. So I think we've got pretty much everything. I'm going to hit one for you and I'll tell you one last thing, and then you'll have the ability to hit these shots. Okay, so first thing, I know the ball's going to hook off of this lie because the axis of the ball is tilted. Okay, so I'm going to aim a little bit out to the right. In this case, it's not too severe of a slope, so I'm going to aim about 15-20 yards out to the right. Okay, here I've got my legs a little unflexed. I'm gripping in this situation at the top of the club. I'm not gripping down here at all. Okay, so ball position, I've got it just slightly forward of center. Now, once I'm in this situation, I don't want to be picking my golf club up. Okay, to actually make this swing, I want to swing the club more around my body. I want to be able to clear this golf club. If I'm taking the club up like this, I can potentially hit down into the ground here. So because we're on a slope, I'm going to try and swing around my body so I make a little better contact. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so that shot there is hooking back nicely, and we're pretty much on target there. Okay, so let me try one more for you here. So again, I'll just kind of run through the steps. So I'm aiming my body out to the right. I'm gripping in my normal grip position, which is at the end of the club. Ball position is just a hair forward of center. From right here, I feel my weight just a little balanced more towards my toes. I'm going to take the club around my body and do my normal golf swing. Okay, so from right here. Okay, ball's hooking perfectly back. And again, we've successfully hit this shot. Okay, so now there's one other little thing I want to talk about, and this is just an alternative to hitting the ball the way I just described. Now, you might want to give this a try, especially if you're a better player. Okay, so what that is in this situation, we know the ball is going to hook off of this lie. So we could actually do something to counteract that hook if we wanted to. Then you don't have to guess how far out to the right you're going to be aiming. So what we could do, we could actually take our normal setup position, being more in a square position, and at address, we could actually open the face a little bit. Okay, so if I open the face a little bit, and I make a swing, that takes a lot of that spin off the golf ball. So that shot right there ended up pretty darn straight. So maybe that's an option for you. If you don't like aiming out to the right and playing that curvature, just try opening up the face a little bit. Maybe that'll straighten it out and allow you to aim a little bit more squarely. Okay, I'd say that's more for an advanced player, but give it a try anyway, because you might find that works for you. Okay, so there's a bunch of different options for you. Make sure you run through those steps next time you've got the ball above your feet, and then you'll be able to hit from those lies. Make sure you ask your questions, post your comments below. I'll try to get to as many as I can.